about that, and I'm gonna make you flow with this. So
Right.
I'll help you out.
Okay.
Okay. So we know you do everything like doctor's visits, groceries, laundry,
everything.
everything.
Everything she needs, I have to.
Right. You do it, and of course, it's never enough. Never. Your mother's a Leo, like my mother's a Leo.
Oh yeah.
Here we go there. There's never enough.
Damn.
It's never like I'm gonna just tell you a thing the other day. Me and Gabby went to my uncle's wife's funeral, my aunt.
Right.
My mother's brother.
Okay.
And it was the monsoon rain last Wednesday.
Right.
Remember the wind,
it was
the
real
crazy.
bad. Right.
We went to Chiselhurst. Nobody knows. Yeah, there you go. Everybody I say,
I'm about to say, I never heard of that place.
hour and a half away.
Oh man.
And there and back in monsoon rain the whole time. So on the way back, and I'm just saying this because I'm going through the same thing.
Right.
On the way back, she says, "I'm really proud and I'm really happy that you did this for me." And
your mother?
My mother. Now,
right.
You know when I get a compliment,
that's big.
It's big.
Right.
So she said that. Gabby was sitting in front of me, and I said, because I'm like, what? I got a compliment.
Right.
And that's where I'm going with this. Like, it's never enough.
Yeah, no.
But you don't do it for that reason. You do it because it's in your heart, and it's your mom.
And it's my mom.
So it's not a
thought.
Right. And it's not a thought.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is a thought.
Right.
Because you know there's like
opportunities that I might be missing out on, yeah.
Right. But you have to think also the blessings are coming.
Yeah.
The blessings are already there.
But I don't even do it for the blessings.
No, you just do it because of what you have.
Right.
And that's what I say. You just do it because of what you're supposed to do.
Right.
It's not a thought.
Right.
But I'm just saying the blessings come because you got a job, you got a nice car, you're doing what you're supposed to do. Those are blessings that he bestow upon you because you're doing what you're supposed to do.
Right.
So continue, and I know you will. Mm-hmm. And we have to cherish the time that we have.
Right.
Because even with my mom, I'm truly blessed because of her age and what she's able to do, but I appreciate the times that I have.
Right.
As difficult and as complicated as it may be, you only get one.
Right.
So
you gotta take care of it.
The ups and the downs, the ins and the outs.
And you rather do it than have somebody else doing it.
And that was my next thing that I'm coming to because of my previous conversation I had is that we as African Americans, we don't put our parents away. It's rare.
Right.
Unless there's no other choice or it's too much on you and you have to consider your own well-being.
Right.
But it's rare.
Right, yeah.
Because first of all, it costs so much. If you have a home health aide, and eventually, I don't know, you may have to have one too, but it's expensive.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the insurance would cover it. I don't know anything about that.
Sometimes they do. It depends on what type of insurance she has.
Right.
And that's another thing, like informative information that we'll give to people.
Right.
Because you don't know until you look into it. And you have to look into what type of insurance they have. And then, if they do cover it, you still have to kick in enough because they have a cap.
Right.
They're only going to allow but so much per day.
Right.
So, and I've experienced that with when my grandfather passed, and we had but you know, God has a plan we don't know about, but we didn't have to do that. But I looked into it, and it's been longer than 20 years, so I don't even know now what the cost may be. But I have friends that have done that.
Okay.
And it's expensive.
I bet it is.
It's expensive, and not everybody has the means for that.
Right.
So in that process, we do what we gotta do.
Yeah.
We take care of what we gotta do.
Right.
So, on that point, I'm gonna say, how does it affect you physically and mentally?
The physically part, you know,
do you have to move her?
Sometimes, like in the middle of the night, you know, she might have to use the bathroom or something.
Right.
She moves slower now, so she needs my assistance.
Right.
So it takes a toll. I gotta get up still, gotta do what I gotta do for myself.
Right.
Work.
And luckily you're a fit guy. Because even though your age, your generation is far more unphysically fit. And I don't even know.
Is that true?
It is. You know, I mean, I see young people, and I'm a woman of a certain age, but they're bigger than me.
Right, yeah. I see what you're saying.
And you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so luckily you're physically fit to do those things.
Right.
Because you're not like obese at all.
No.
But like I'm saying, I see people like your age and younger
that are out of shape.
Out of shape.
Right.
Can't hardly walk down the street without a pump.
Right. Seriously.
It's true.
Yeah.
You know.
In the last couple of weeks, I've lost maybe like 5 or 6 people that I've known.
Your age.
That's my age. Yeah.
See.
People are doing bad out here.
Right.
Yeah.
And the thing is it doesn't have nothing to do with age.
Right.
And even people my age.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking the fact of me taking care of my mom.
Right.
But people my age are dying.
Right.
You know, so it's the fact of them not even, like, say for instance something happened, like you said, you lost 5 friends. I mean, I don't know what their mother's situation is.
I don't either.
But they're not there to help.
Right.
So at least you're there to help, like you said, to get her up
right
in the middle of the night and doing what you got to do. Do you go have anybody you talk to as far as?
No, not really. I just talk to myself and pray.
Okay, prayer is number one.
You know.
So you talking to God.
That's basically. That's it.
That's it.
You know.
And you know you can always.
I mean, of course, I can always reach out to y'all, but I'm just a really to myself kind of person sometimes, especially in a certain circumstances.
Right.
So I just stick to myself and just stay on my own mind.
Have you thought about therapy? I'm just saying because it's nothing wrong with it.
It's not, but in our community again,
it's a stigma.
Health, right.
It's a stigma, but in this day and age, could you tell him, please? In this day and age, you could go on your phone.
Can you?
Yes, they have therapy.
See, I don't know about all of that.
I'll tell you because believe me, I do that, and it's called BetterHelp.
Mm-hmm.
And you can have, and I saw another one online the other day because because I would hate to see you crash.
Right.
Because what would be the benefit to her?
Right.
So they have different apps on your phone for therapy, and it's better to talk to someone that doesn't have a connection.
Right.
That you could just feel free
to just talk
and get your stuff out. Because Gabby's my therapist.
Okay.
Our camera lady. She's out there to an extent.
Right.
Because I'm still her mother. And I don't want to throw everything on her. But she's close to me. So she hears and sees and does. But even me, there's certain things that I don't want to discuss with her.
I get you.
You know?
Of course not.
So it's okay to reach out to therapy.
I'm going to look into that.
Yeah, please look into that because it helps. What is besides what we've talked about already, the challenges of what you can't, go on and you feel like you're missing out on stuff.
Right.
But what other challenges do you think you have?
I don't know, because I kind of get through my days. I don't have any issues.
Is work out for you?
You said what?
Is work, going to work, isn't it out for you? It takes you out of...
It does take me out
the everyday.
Yeah, and give me something else to do to focus on.
I'm 100% behind it.
Right.
It's nothing wrong with it because I was home for 6 months. I've been home off and on, and everybody that's watching this know my situation. But I was home for 6 months with an income.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're so consumed of the doctor's visits, of I got to do this, I got to help you with this, and you need that, getting out of that circle makes a difference.
Yeah, it does.
And
even just to be around some different people, just to talk to different people.
Right, outside of your little bubble.
Right, yeah.
I ran out.
I get
And it's not what I want, but it's good. Mm-hmm. It's not complicated, and it's easy. But like I'm saying with that, you're getting out of the circle.
Right.
You can take your mind off of what you have to do.
Right.
Every day.
For a little while.
All day.
Right.
Because if you're home, it's constant.
It is constant.
It's constant.
Yeah.
And I was home, like I said, for 6 months, and I had a great little setup, and I was happy to have that time.
Right.
Because, and still, I'm working part-time, but it gets me out of the realm.
Right.
And it still allows me to do what I have to do for her. And I have a little support system.
Right, which is good.
My kids. And, you know, she has other people that help us out too.
Right.
But that could be your space. You know, get you out to see other people.
I just got to get out some more, yeah.
Yeah.
I need to come over here.
Yeah, I told you, you know, every time I see you,
right,
we going somewhere.
Right.
Because that's all we do, right? I love being home.
Right.
But you have to have that little social aspect. And I got a good cluster of friends, too, that's been friends forever.
Right. Yeah.
So I get with them, and it makes a difference. You got it. And you know, anytime you come,
right,
we'll do something. My next thing, I want to go to American Dream.
What is that?
That big giant mall in Sea Caucus where you go skiing in the water park. I want to do something like that. But then again, it costs money.
Everything costs. It's so expensive right now.
You can't walk out the house without spending $100.
At least.
At least. I mean, just in GP and going. And the thing was, I was doing with Mom was shopping.
Right.
That's her thing.
Right.
Love shopping.
You got it. And
the money out of my pocket.
Yeah, money, right.
And everything cost so much. And you know, we was doing dinners. I mean, you know, her favorite spot is Applebee's. So we do Applebee's after the shopping.
Right.
But all that costs money.
Yeah.
But I was blessed and grateful that I had the time.
Right. And you want to put that time in because, like you said, you never know.
You never know. And she's 88. She'll be 89 this year. And I'm blessed.
Right, definitely.
But this is going back to the conversation of how our mothers are.
Right.
So one day I'm sitting with her at Applebee's. And I said, Mom, you know, I just want to put this out there to you. I'm really happy that we could, you know, spend this time together and enjoy each other's company, you know, without any restrictions. I don't need you to be grateful for what you can do. I just need you to do what you're supposed to be doing.
Oh, man. You know.
But that's my mother.
That's your mother.
If she would have said, "Oh, I'm happy too," I would have probably thought something really seriously was wrong with her.
Right.
And that's the relationship you develop with your mom to know how to put into that, you know, area of what, you know, I'm being genuine.
Right.
But that's my mother.
I get you.
So I was like, okay, I'll go with that. I'm thinking you're happy too.
Right, that's her expression.
That's her way.
Right.
You know? So, like everything said, you know the personality, you know how they are, so you just gotta flow with it. Do y'all argue?
You know, sometimes because she's getting older, so I don't want to say her mind is getting slower, but you know,
because mine
with age, right?
Right, mine is.
And sometimes just the stresses of life.
Right.
I get aggravated, and then when I come home, she might do something and it might set me off. And
you do something to set her off.
Exactly.
Right.
She's strong-minded. She's not going to back down.
No.
The Leos don't back down.
Never. They always right.
So. Yeah, that sometimes we get into a little, you know.
So how do you handle that? What do? You just walk away, or do you feed into it, or?
No, because I don't want to be disrespectful, and that's my mother. So, like you said, I'll walk away for a while.
That's so nice.
I usually come back with food. Women like food, you know.
You say what?
Women love food.
Okay.
Come back with food.
Aww, that's so. Yeah, I know that feeling. That's a good thing, though.
I mean, you know, I know her. Like you said, we've created a relationship, so I know her. So.
Right, and you know what makes her happy and what doesn't make her happy.
Exactly.
My thing is, and this will come out later in the thing, when I have. It took me a minute because, like, you know, my situation, I just moved next door to my mom.
Right.
So we're closer than I've been since I was around 30.
Right, yeah, because y'all was...
That's 30 years ago.
Right, oh wow.
So...
These years are flying by.
Yes, they are. So I'm close to her now, so I'm interacting with her now more than ever.
Right.
Even when I was young, because my mother worked all the time.
Right.
But I'm interacting with her more than ever, and I always knew how my mother was. But I'm not a child. So you can't treat me a certain way and say certain things to think. And when I first got into that situation, I would, because I'm an adult.
Right.
So we was going back and forth, clashing big time. And I'm a crier.
Okay.
I cry.
Right.
And when I cry, it's because I'm super mad and I don't want to tell you really how I feel. And that's even happened a couple of times. And she's called my friends and told them that I'm losing my mind because the way I was acting, because it builds up.
It does build up.
It builds up. And then when it comes out wrong.
Every time.
Yes.
Right.
So that's another example I'm just giving you.
No, I get you.
Right. Because I'm keeping it inside.
Right.
And when it comes out, it's exaggerative. It's like crazy. So I've got a friend of mine, and I said it in the first episode, which she will be in this spot that you're in at some point. But because she's done the same thing with her mom. She's taking care of her mom. And she said, you just got to say okay.
Right, that's what you got to do.
And these t-shirts will be going out to say, okay, flying blind. And I have a font for men and a font for women. So that will be coming soon as I develop more. But I've gotten to the point where I've said, okay, you're right.
Right.
Okay.
It's better to just let them have it and not argue and stress them out.
And yourself.
Right, and yourself,
right.
Exactly.
Even though you can't stop it because you're
going
to be
human.
Right.
It's going to happen.
It's going to happen. You're going to be stressed.
Because 2 adults,
each person has their own mind.
Right, exactly.
And regardless of what, you know how you are and that you know how they are.
Right.
So that's a tip I'm going to give to say, you have to just say, okay.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
Right.
That's it.
And that'll kill it.
It does. Sometimes. Sometimes, because then she'll come back and say, I don't want you to agree with everything.
Can't even agree.
You can't win, but and then you can leave.
Right.
Or go in your room. Or go where you have to go. And it's a blessing that I'm here and not there.
Right, yeah.
Because I wouldn't be able to do it.
Right.
So that's part of it also.
Okay.
How do you think your mom feels that she has to depend on you so much?
She appreciates it, but she's always been independent and strong.
Right.
So even now, sometimes she wants me to take her to the supermarket and it's like, might be better if I just go because you got to do all this walking,
right?
Crutches, you can fall. There's people in the store. It'd be better if but she
wants to get out.
She wants to get out
because she's used to doing it.
Exactly.
So
I don't know, because she really depends on me for everything. Because she stopped driving.
Right.
So
Mine too.
Right. So we have to take them everywhere. But I think she appreciates it. I know she appreciates it.
But you thinking, because I'm not there yet, and I'm just saying on my own behalf.
Right.
When it gets to the point, I always had this idea in my mind from a little girl, and it's going to come because I put it in the universe. I've always figured I was going to have a driver.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, from a little kid. Like, when I get successful, I'm going to have somebody drive me around. Hasn't happened yet.
Right.
I drive everybody around.
Right.
But eventually, when I get to that point, because I went there with my grandfather, taking his keys. Okay. I had to take his.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because somebody came to the house because he hit him and he was getting ready to write them a blank check.
Oh, yeah?
And I was like, no, he's not writing you a blank check. First of all, you can go through the insurance company.
Right.
But it had happened a couple of times. And I took his keys. Oh, he cursed me out.
I remember your grandfather.
Yeah, I mean, he was strong too.
Right.
Quiet strong. Them the scary ones. They don't say much, and I had to.
Right.
And it was to the point because he couldn't move his feet on the gas pedals the way he needed to drive.
Because as you get older,
you can't. Now my mother's nerves are shot.
Okay.
That's why she can't drive. She can move her feet, but the way people drive today,
right, it's hard for me to drive.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And she be in the car with me fussing at people driving out there. Right. So, and it just so happened within the past year or so, I was able to do and take and go and, do stuff that I can with her. And that's another thing because you live close to your mom. I live close to my mom.
Right.
What about the people that don't? They live far.
Right.
They moved away as a young person.
Right.
And then their parents is here and trying to do that. So the blessing is we're still able to because we're close.
Because we're close, right.
And able to drive and go and take them where they have to go.
Even though it puts our life on hold sometimes.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
And it's you have a lot more time in front of you.
I hope so.
You do. Because, I mean,
Right.
it's not like you're out here gangbanging and doing crazy and stuff like that.
Right.
So you have me, on the other hand, I don't.
Right.
I have more time behind me than I have in front. So I'm able to feel blessed that I'm able to do this and for her to spend the time. And you have to look at it that way too, Mac.
No, that's how I do look at
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Because you don't know how much longer.
Right.
And it's a scary thing.
That is. Sometimes it crosses my mind. I try to block it out, but you never know.
It's
that's
life.
a scary thought, right? And that's part of life.
It's part of life, and eventually. And I'm not to say who's going to go first,
right?
Because in this day and age, they living longer than we are.
That's true.
So you have to think about those little things the time that you spend.
Right.
It's difficult, and as crazy as it can be, and believe me, I know, when my father passed,
right,
only day I had to sleep, the only day was Saturday, because I went to church on Sunday. Him and Bud
where's old Bud at?
Bud passed.
Okay.
Him and Bud would be at my house 7 o'clock on the Saturday.
Right.
You got breakfast?
Get out of here.
I swear to God. You gonna do breakfast? And I'm like, no, my kids were small.
Right.
But I would get up, give me a couple minutes, let me get together, and I'll go down and I cook breakfast for everybody. Just an example of what I'm saying to you. It's aggravating and it's horrific, because as soon as I would hear that doorbell, I'm like, what the? But the first Saturday that he wasn't here, I couldn't get out the bed. Because he wasn't at the door asking me for breakfast. Or whatever else he would come to the door for.
Right,
but those moments. So this is what I'm saying to you is cherish them.
Right. I'm trying to.
I know. And you are.
Yeah.
Because we don't know the time of the day.
Right.
And I can't even think about it.
I try not to.
You can't. I can't either, because, regardless of what, she's still my mom, and then you'll never get another one.
Exactly.
Mac, this is going really good. You enjoy it?
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
My nerves are still a little.
No, I know, but I'm the type that relax you and make it easier, make you feel comfortable. Okay. What are your feelings, good or bad, about you being in this situation? And if you're not comfortable with discussing this with me, it's okay. But just to get an idea, because you have to look at too, I'm doing this because you have people that's coming behind us.
Right.
That are getting ready to step into this part
right.
of taking care of someone.
Right.
It could be a spouse, it could be a parent, it could be a family member, it could be a child.
Right.
You know what I mean? You don't know what the situation or what life has in store for us. So we have to get into the idea of, nothing's perfect.
Right. That's right.
And everybody got something.
Right.
So I'm saying this to you. What are your feelings, good and bad, about you being a caregiver for your mom?
Oh,
the good part. We'll start with that.
Let's start with the good part.
Okay, we'll start with the good part.
Well, like I said, I get to be the one to keep an eye on her. I'm not putting her in somebody else's hands, because a lot of crazy stuff go on with these nurses, and like you said, it's expensive. So.
And even in that situation, if she wasn't at home.
Right.
You would still have to be hands-on.
Right.
Because if you're not, she's not going to thrive.
Right, exactly.
You have to be there to make sure the people that work there are doing their jobs. It's not like, let me put them there and I'm out.
Right, yeah.
Because to them, it's only a job.
Right, and they're not going to care about your mother the way you do.
Never.
Right.
So even if she was in a nursing home, you would
still have to be
on point. You
pretty
would still
much, right.
So
every day.
In the retrospect, this is somewhat easier.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to get in your car,
right,
go to a facility, check in,
right,
walk down the hall and see everybody else that's in their situation. it's just you and
It's
her.
just me and her, and I can keep a close eye on her.
Yes, and that's why she's thriving the way she is.
Right.
Because of you.
Right.
I feel the same way about my mom. We don't know the time of the day. From the time we're born, God has the plan.
That's it.
The time we're born and the time we die. We don't know when or how or where it's going to happen.
Right.
But, you know,
You just gotta enjoy the
ride
time.
the
that
ride.
Right.
Right, and enjoy it. Okay. We talked about, now insurance, we talked about the nursing home, and this, I've talked to this in my previous episode about property that are getting out paperwork in order, doing, you know, that type of thing. And you're an only child like me.
Right.
So it's not, hopefully, it won't be, you know, a riffraff or whatever that has to go on. But we don't know what they have going on. I don't. And
No, I don't know.
right. So that's a conversation too.
Definitely.
That's kind of difficult.
Yeah.
And to all of you out here that's listening, that's the conversation to have, because you want to get caught in that situation and not knowing what happens, and it's difficult
Right.
because they don't want to think about the fact that this is going to happen.
Right.
But none of us is staying here forever,
Right.
so
It's
it's a
a
discussion.
conversation that needs to be had.
And you could ease into it, you know, like paperwork and stuff like that. But when it happens, and you have to just be prepared. It's not something that's nice to think about, believe me.
Right.
But it's something. It's like
It has to be thought about.
okay, all right. I think I covered everything, Matt.
Okay.
That wasn't bad.
That wasn't bad at all. I
Okay.
enjoyed myself.
I'm glad. Thank you,
I
Matt.
hope we can do this again.
Oh, we will do it again. Because as time goes on, it's going to be more and more, you don't know, it's going to be more.
Right.
Because she's not going to be able to do as much as she can do today in a couple of years.
Right.
So, and I'm making this a forum. Anybody want to talk? Come talk to Tracy.